to our show. We are so grateful and glad to have you a part of our show tonight. Intro. Hi, everybody. Listen, we want to just kind of spend some time this show just going back over some of the great benefits from last week. So many of you have reached out and you want the information. So I'm going to try to recapture something. But before we get started, I like to always start with a prayer. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we come before your presence with thanksgiving and praise. We give you honor today for what you have done, what you are doing. And we are grateful that the lives that are being changed just from the drippings of the information that we are providing. Cover us, keep us. This is my prayer in every household. Bless them in Jesus' name. Well, this is Dr. Cathy Thompson dripping on you. We talk about talks and all these things, but we've been talking about no more abuse. No one has a right to be abused. No one deserves to be abused. And oftentimes, it is a silent situation where you're abused. So people ask, what is abuse? Abuse is basically, you can look at it and think of it in terms of tormenting someone, hurting someone, wounding someone. Abuse can look like you spit in someone's face. Abuse can look like you're hitting someone physically. Abuse can look like you're mentally tormenting someone. Abuse can look like you're stealing from someone. Abuse can look like you're raping someone. Can you be married and raped? Can you be married and raped? The answer is yes. There have been people who've gone to jail from raping their wives. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Well, it depends on the circumstances and the situations. People have a right to say no. People have a right to privacy. So let me talk about that. Since this is a question that came into our feed, can you be raped as a married person? One is if you are not together, you're separated, and this person forces himself, because I'm a woman, we're talking about women versus men. But if he forces himself on that woman, then and she said no, then by the courts it is considered rape. She didn't consent to it. What about when you're married and you live in the same household and that woman says no? Well, the courts still look at it as the same. She said no. And if you force her to have intimacy with you and you don't, and she doesn't want to, then it can be considered rape. So we have to be mindful of others. We have to be mindful of what people are saying and how they feel. Abuse is such a big topic, but abuse falls in so many different categories. Abuse falls in the category of mental torment. You are mentally trying to tear your mate down. You're mentally trying to destroy your mate. Why will you? One is defame their character, lie on them, and try to mentally torment them. That's abusive. It is absolutely abusive. And if you think lying on someone, talking about them, defaming their character is not abusive, then you're wrong. It is. And people say, well, at least I didn't hit you. Whether you hit someone or you mentally tore them down, it's still abusive. Abuse is verbal abuse and it's nonverbal abuse. You're trying to mentally destroy someone. Let me give you an example of someone who reached out to us and they were mentally torn down. Every day their mate told them that they were worthless, they could never do anything right, and they wish they had never ever connected with them. But yet, the woman is cooking and cleaning. She's trying to do her wifey duties at home. And so it was obvious that the man was cheating on this woman. But she wanted to know what to do. What could she do? What could she have done differently? You can't do anything differently. And someone said to me a long time ago, and I'll never have forgotten that statement. You can't make nobody love you if they don't love you. Is that a true statement? Yes, it is true. If a person doesn't want to be with you, if they would rather cheat and sleep with and creep, you can't do anything about that. You can pray and ask the Lord to save that person's soul if you come from a biblical standpoint. Show them the errors of their way. If that person still refuses to do what's right, the Lord gives you an out. I know divorce is not good. I know divorce is not something that you want to do. But honestly, sometimes it's necessary to get out of an abusive situation. And there are times that people abuse others and they're in a relationship. They've already started another relationship with someone else, but they refuse to let that person go. They don't want that person that they abused, that they took advantage of, that they mentally tore down, told them that they were good for nothing. They don't want them to have happiness in their life. There's some relationship that should never be entered into. And there are some people whose primary purpose for joining with anyone is just to use them and to abuse them and to take advantage of them and to take from them whatever they can get. What happens? Another question came in. What happens when my mate doesn't love me back? What happens when you have totally removed all the walls from around your heart? Well, you first have to ask yourself, why is it that your mate doesn't want to love you back? First, you have to look at yourself and do a self-inspection. What are you doing that could possibly be causing that mate not to love you back? Are you tearing that person down? Are you yelling and screaming at them all the time? Are you beating them? Are you mentally destroying them? Are you cheating on them? Are you having phone relationships with someone else? Are you having, um, they call it a computer relationship? Are you having a job relationship where at work you go to lunch with that person all the time? You hang out with that person all the time. And every time people see you at work, you guys are together. So is that some people joke about it, that they say this is my wife at work or my husband at work. Well, that's still a type of relationship that you have entered into. That's not right. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Because you will find yourself confiding in that person and talking about things that you should be talking to your wife or husband about. In this case, women should be confiding into their husband. If there are things that they don't like about their husband, they should tell that person. You should. You shouldn't cry on the shoulders of another man. And vice versa, because that person more than likely is going to tell you what they feel that should be said or what you want to hear so that they can gain ground, a positive grounds there, right? So let me go into some of the programs that we talked about last week. So I just today's time is just to recapture some of the things, the resources that are available that you have at your fingertips that you may or may not know about. One is we had state levels people on the phone last week, and They talked about a lot of things, so I'm going to give you a few. One topic is if you have children, let's say you make $50,000 a year and you may feel that you don't qualify because a lot of time the cutoff is maybe in the mid 20s. Everything is driven by your income, right? And all the state programs are predicated on your income. But you may qualify for state level programs and state level help if you have children. For an example, one of the state workers indicated that she made almost 50,000. She had two children, and she was no longer in a relationship, so it was her and her children. She needed Medicare. Medicare is available to help you. You have health benefits, and you may be able to qualify for SNAP, food stamps. Some people get $1,000 or more, depends upon how many children they have. And the emergency funding is out there. It's available. So what happens when you are a woman who is constantly being abused and you're beat up? What happens when you go to the hospital over and over again? I do know that they will not allow you to go back home once you come to the hospital X number of times being beat up. They will know and say that the place you keep going back to is unhealthy for you. To save your life, they are not going to release you from the hospital until you agree to go somewhere else. And a lot of times, if you're in the Washington, D.C. metro areas, they're going to reach out to the House of Ruth. That's just one place. And the House of Ruth, you're going to end up being connected to a safe house, a safe location. They will not give you the address to the location until you have agreed to go. They won't tell you the address until you are almost near the location. They will put you in an area of close proximity to where the safe house is. One is they don't want the person that's abusing you to follow you to the safe house and jeopardize others. A lot of time when people are abused or they are running for their lives, they grab whatever they can grab and take their children and run. There have been many times that we've gotten calls from people who, when they leave the courts, being beat up, taken out a stay away order, their husband chased them down on the highway and run into the cars or vehicles with the children still in the car. They are that angry. So at that point, they're not caring about whether they're hurting the babies or not. They're so angry that they just want to get to the mother or the wife or the significant other. So abuse is real. So there are state level programs that may take care of you for months, on top of months, a year or longer. You won't know until you go and check it out. There are state level programs, and the question came up, okay, can I get emergency funding? Yes, you can. You have to reach out. Once you connect to the House of Ruth and they give you the contact numbers for the safe house, they will put you ahead of the other people who are trying to get programs because your situation now is an emergency. So you're going to get emergency funds. And here's what else they have. They have housing. They have housing available that they will pay for your first month's rent and security deposit. Whatever it takes you to get into that place, you might need 2 months of security deposit. Whatever that is, you are eligible for it if you're in the safe house. They will push your name ahead of the other people. Another question. What type of transportation is available for people that are abused and they're running? If you let them know where you are, the location where you are, they will send out a lift or they will send a shuttle and pick you up and bring you back to the safe house. There are many ways that they can help you to get safe. Another question came in. What about foods? What about meals? What about food and milk for our children? One is they're going to connect you with a caseworker. The caseworker is going to sit down with you and find out what you need once you get to the safe house, what it is that you need. Do you need food for your children? Do you need clothes? Do you need transportation? They will provide you, in most cases, 3 meals. And a lot of times, the one I know, the safe house here in Maryland, is the biggest safe house in the state of Maryland. They provide you with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The lunch is a hot meal, or it could be a bag, and the dinner is generally hot. And so, what help can I get with foods and other assistances or other programs? Again, food stamp, which is SNAP. What about the baby's milk? Okay, WIC. You can get WIC for your babies. It's available. You just have to apply for it. You just have to reach out and apply for these various programs, and you'll be able to get in. It's very important that you reach out. Don't just take the abuse. Don't keep silent. Don't stay quiet. Tell somebody. If you are afraid, tell somebody. A lot of times people stay in abusive relationships because they are embarrassed, they are ashamed, and they do not want people to know what they're going through. So it's so important that you talk to someone. Tell your caseworker what's really going on. Tell the truth. Don't say you fell down the stairs when you got a black eye and a bruised up face. Don't do that. You want to reach out and tell somebody. Right now, we're going to take a pause break. We want to just pause for a few minutes. And I do want to thank all the questions that are coming in. I do want to thank everyone for your participation. I do want to really encourage you to continue to reach out to us. Go to our website, www.globalchurchministry.com. Inbox us. Call 1-877-2-MY-LORD. Reach out to us. Call for help. Let us help navigate you. And if we don't have someone in-house that can help you, we're going to navigate you out to someone else. There are many programs out there available for you. Just know this. Things are at your fingertips. Things are available. Cry out, cry loud. Stop taking the abuse. You don't have to. We are here for you. The state level programs are available and it's real. They have emergency funding. They have private vehicles that can pick you up and take you from point A to point Z. You just got to reach out. The quickest way to get some help is to go to the Social Security's office, show up, go in there, sit down, and be prepared to wait to see someone. We want to thank all the sponsors for working with us. One of our biggest sponsors is the GTN family. We want to just pause right now to show you all who that sponsor is. We're going to take a pause break. Just to thank. so much again to our GTN family. Thank you for diligently sponsoring us, and to all the other silent sponsors. We just thank everyone. This is a family affair. Listen, we are in it to win it. We are here, and we know that abuse is real. If you've never been abused before, thank God. But programs are available for help. Another question coming in. If my mate steals money from me, is that a form of abuse? Absolutely. Because you don't have to steal from your mate. You can ask. Another question. If the person is married to me, is it okay for from the woman's point of view, is it okay for my husband to go into my pocket and get money out whenever he wants, and then I not know about it until I get to the store and the money's gone? Well, if you didn't ask for it, is it stealing? Why not ask your wife for the money out of her purse? It's okay for you to do that. If you are married, you all are becoming one. Becoming one. You don't get married and the next day you are one. You become one. You grow together. There are going to be challenges in a relationship. There are challenges in a marriage. You have to learn to respect and honor each other. You have to. Because if you don't, it's going to be like the 4th of July every day. Anger is going to be coming from the left to the right, in the rear and the front. You have to push past things. Learn to respect each other. Learn to communicate. Another question. Am I obligated to have sex with my husband just because he wants it and I'm tired? Well, if you're coming from a biblical standpoint, the Bible talks about your body belongs to your mate when you get married. Your body don't belong to you anymore. From the woman's point of view, from the woman's standpoint, ladies, your body belongs to your husband. And there are some men who tell us that they withhold lovemaking from their wives because they are angry with them. Did y'all know that? Men hold back just like women do. They do. It's not just the women. Because men value their bodies just like women do. I know you all probably don't believe that because you say all men are dogs, but all of them don't operate like dogs. There's some very respectful men out there. And some men who really love the Lord and they're trying to do it the godly way. So I won't agree that everybody is out there sleeping with everybody. I know that from a biblical standpoint that people are dealing with many different things, challenges, spirits, and all kinds of things. And again, I say this often. There was a time from the old school that I, along with everybody else, didn't believe that people needed to sit down and get some counseling. But it's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to sit in someone else's chair, even if you got to lie down, talk, get it out. Don't allow that to fester inside of you, to cause stress and all kinds of issues, make you sick, and then end up dying early. You want to get it out. Question, can I get some milk for my baby if I need it right now today? Yes. Reach out. You can reach out to them and apply for WIC. You can. You can. Question, if I'm in an abusive situation, when my mate goes to sleep, can I sneak out and someone pick me up? Yes. Help is available. You don't have to stay in an abusive situation. It is available for you. Social services, they have a plethora of benefits. When you go in and sit down with them, be authentic, be real, and tell them exactly what you need. Don't be modest. If you don't have any money, you tell them that you need some emergency money. If you don't have a roof over your heads, tell them you may have to go to a shelter or a safe house, and they have women facilities. that will house women and children. And I will say in the safe house, they do have beds. To my knowledge, there are over 98, I believe, beds in the biggest safe house that's in the state of Maryland. So in the rooms, there may be three, four, five bunk beds available for children. They have, I think, two large bathrooms with a shower facility on each floor, a toilet and a stall. They have a laundry room. They have clothes that people drop off. So they have things available. And you can reach out for those of you who have a lot of stuff and you just need to clean out. Reach out to the safe house. Reach out to the house of Ruth. Give people some things that you don't want anymore that's gently worn. That means it's still nice. Reach out and help people if it's within your powers to do so. If you have it, give it. Open your hands. Be a blessing to others. And I promise you, according to the word of the Lord, that whatsoever a man soweth, that will he also reap. If you sow good seeds and you bless people, you will get blessed back. Do you all understand that? So there are programs available. Health benefits, Medicaid, food stamps, shelters, all that stuff is available for you. So I do thank you. I wanted to recapture some of that. You can go out to the links and listen in from last week. But I want to talk, every show we want to talk about health. We always want to talk about health, always. And, we've been on this tip about women's breasts and why have we been talking for the last couple weeks or so about women's breasts, because women do get breast cancer and men too. Men have breasts and they get breast cancer. So if you have swollen lymph nodes, there's something worth looking into to get a CAT scan, and they may do a biopsy. Stay away from sugars. White sugar is not your friend. Throw it away. It causes inflammation in your body. And if you have cancer in your body and you don't even know it and they suspect it, they're going to ask you to fast and they're going to put sugar, water, whatever in your veins. And wherever the sugar goes to, they say that's where the cancer is. So breast checks are important. If you look at your breasts, your nipples, and see that they are pointing down and they are dimples or lumps inside of your breast, then that may be an indication that something is wrong. Pay attention to your breasts. Take your bra off. Stand in front of the mirror and look at your breasts and see if one of them is sagging and hanging down further than the other. See if you have any pain in your breast area. You want to point these things out to your doctor. That's why an annual mammogram is so important. And the monthly breast checks, those are important. You know how they say, take your hand, raise it over your head, go in a circle of motion and check your breast. Well, all that's important. It is. And then men, if you have breasts, you need to be checking your breasts as well. Some men, they are built that way and they have breasts. And so if you have a history in your family of people getting breast cancer, you definitely are possibly in a high-risk category. If you drink a lot of alcohol, you're in a high-risk category for breast cancer. If you started your menstrual cycle very early, before 11 years of age, you're in a high-risk category for cancer. If you notice that your breast is leaking or dripping fluids, you need to get that checked out because there could be something that's going on in your body. Those are so important. You want to get all these things checked out. You want to eat the right foods that will green. You want to stay 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 green. That is the best thing that you want to do, the superfoods. You're eating healthy. You want to stay away from junk foods, candy, sweets, potato chips, pies. You know, you can make uh, some healthy
What
pies and cakes.
is
Did
this?
y'all know that? You can leave the gluten out and still there is a way. I see
Mhm.
one of my host host individuals. She popped in. Miss Katrina Morris Knight, how are
You hear me?
you? We are talking about
Um,
health, and I just want to tell you this young lady be cooking up a storm all the time. Can you give us? We're talking about the health right now. Can you give us some healthy dishes that people might be able to use? That it's a super green dish, tastes great. You got some of these dishes where you be throwing down in the kitchen. Can you tell the listeners anything them you feel might be healthy for them, so that will keep their body healthy in terms of the super greens, the foods, the
can you hear
vegetables, and
me?
stuff like that?
Can, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Kathy, can you?
So I know that you were recently cooking the Brussels sprouts. I mean cauliflower, and um, you switched up from regular rice, white rice, brown rice to cauliflower rice.
Can you hear me? Kathy,
So that
Kathy.
is important. I don't know why we are not able to hear you. So I'm just
Uh,
so I'm going to just share some of the
can you
dishes
hear me now?
with the people because I can't hear to hear. You got to turn your mic up, but I'm going to just share it with you. What people, some of the dishes that you have been. She chops up a lot of. I don't know anybody else that takes vegetables and make brownies and things like that. This young lady literally takes vegetables and make brownies. She used the vegetables to make things that you would call sweet. Tastes great. It looks like a regular baked good, but it's loaded with vegetables. So there are many different food items that you can use as an alternative to a lot of sweets and sugary things. Get rid of your white sugars. Go to the trash can and save your life by getting rid of the white sugars. Use sugar substitutes. You're gonna be glad that you did because when you eat sugary items, it causes inflammation and joint pains. It's not healthy for you. It's not good for you. It may have cost you $50, especially if you buy those big old 50-pound bags of sugar and all of this, because sugar is expensive. But it's gonna save your life. So, as always, every week reach out to others, have them join us. We are grateful, we are thankful for our sponsors, we're thankful for all the people, our hosts, co-host people. We are thankful for each and every person that takes the time out to join us because we are here to help. We want to give back to the community. We want to give back because we personally know what it's like to be abused. And whether you've been slapped, whether you've been spit on, whether you've been hit, whether you've been stolen from, mentally or physical abuse, it's all abusive. All these things are abusive. So we thank you so much for joining us. We thank you. Katrina, say wave goodbye to the people. We thank you so much. We want you to join us next week, same time, same station, 7:30 p.m. We're going to be talking more relationship talk. We're going to be talking about how do you get some funding additionally. And you know what? We want to bring on some powerhouse people that talk about women in businesses, women who've been abused, women who have been hurt, but they've taken their abuse and they've turned it into something positive. So just because you've been wounded, you don't have to stay the victim. You don't have to stay down. You can get up. With God's help, you can get up. So that's all we have for today. We thank you so much for joining us every week. Stay tuned for information that will be forthcoming for our next show. So we're going to be talking about the powerhouse connection from women who have gotten up. So ladies, stay up. You've been abused. Stay up. Stay up. You matter. You are amazing, ladies. You are so awesome. You have your businesses. Katrina is a powerhouse. Woo-hoo! Our ladies that's connecting our powerhouse people, they have their own businesses, therapists, you name it. Some of them are self-publishers. They can help you with so many different things. So stay tuned. Get on your phone, call everybody, tell them that they're going to have the powerhouse connection for the women who most of them have been abused. Not everyone, but they took the challenge and they went to the next level. So you be blessed. Until next time, God bless you. We love you. Smooches. Bye-bye.